Hello, everyone, and welcome to the story of how my best friend got knocked out by a pillow. So, when I was around 14 years old, me and my three friends, Cassian, James, and Oliver, went on a school trip to Belgium. We travelled by coach, so we were pretty tired when we got there, and everyone just wanted to get some food and to go to sleep. After we'd eaten, we went to bed, and apart from a little bit of conversation, we're pretty much all on the same wavelength that we just wanted to go to sleep. All of us apart from Cassian. Cassian had decided that it was going to be ridiculously loud for the sole purpose of keeping the rest of us awake. Just to give you a slight idea of how annoying he was, Oliver can sleep through almost anything. Once we're staying over at Cassian's house, and Oliver just fell asleep really early. So we tried the obvious test of how much he could sleep through. Slapped him in the face? Nothing. Shouted at him? Nothing. We held his nose so that he couldn't breathe, but all he'd ever do was slightly shuffle, sigh, and then stay asleep. So I was thinking, how far can we push this? I looked around the room and I saw a cricket bat in the corner, and all of our sleep's really, really spread out. So I took the liberty of picking up the cricket bat and smacking him in the balls with it. Obviously, I didn't hit him too hard, but come on, if that's not going to wake you up, I don't know what will. Now back to the main story. So the three of us are all still awake due to Cassian being annoying, and it suddenly becomes quiet. And then we hear a thud. So we get up and look across to Cassian's bed, and he wasn't there. And we're all like, what? As we noticed, we started to hear this rustling and shuffling sound as Cassian was crawling along the floor. Bearing in mind it's literally pitch black in the room, and the only reason that we could actually see that he'd left his bed is because there was a straight light behind it. The rest of the room was in total darkness. So we're all wondering what he's actually doing, and suddenly I started to hear the noise getting closer and closer, like something out of Jaws, until suddenly he was in my vision of sight and he grabbed my leg and pulled me out of my bed onto the floor. So at this point, I'm absolutely petrified and really confused, to be honest, because I have no idea what he's going to do next. But James, who you haven't really heard mentioned until this point in the story, because he is the most quiet and peaceful person ever, decided that he had had enough. Cassian dragged me towards the door, and James decided no. So he picked up one of his pillows, lobbed it across the room, and it smacked my friend in the head. My friend fell backwards onto the door handle, and he was knocked out cold. But we didn't believe him. At the time, we didn't realise that he'd hit his head on the door handle, and from previous experiences, we know that he'd play dead to lure you in, and then bam, he'd bounce, and there was no way for you to escape. So obviously we're like, you can't get knocked out by a pillow. So we proceeded to try and get him to react to something. So we touched some of his pressure points, slapped him a couple of times, and then I looked around the room and was like, I know. So he'd bought this 2 litre bottle of Fanta that he drank almost all of it on the way over, and there was a little bit left in the bottom. So I was like, yeah, I'm going to pour this on his face. And apart from a little bit of light twitching when it went down his nose, he didn't really flinch at all. So we grew a bit concerned. But not that concerned. We're so tired and we just decided, he brought this upon himself. And we all decided to go back to bed. So about 5 minutes later, we just heard this groan from the end of our beds and saw Cassian stand up, and he was pissed. Like, he woke up with a massive headache and sticky stuff on his face, which I suppose is a kind of suspicious thing to wake up to now that I come to think about it. But he just got his things and decided that that night he was going to sleep in the bath, which I'll never understand. Anyway, the next day he was annoyed at us, but now we all look back at it and laugh, apart from him. he's still salty about it.